Good morning, everyone. Wow, I'm so run down. Cold start. Yesterday, I spent all day working on the 550, and today we're gonna go get to pick it up. But after we drop off this and pick up the 458 Speciale, I just gotta get gas. I've been fixing the suspension from the Ferrari. Both the Speciale and the 458 GT3 had worn out bushings already, and the cars are generally 2015 to 2017, so I would understand that the bushings need to get replaced. Usually rubber bushings last on a car about 3 to 5 years, depending obviously on the usage as well. Now, normally, sometimes when you have air suspension, it puts extra stress on the bushings because when the car sits down, it tends to squat past the range of what it would normally articulate the suspension at. So I'm hoping that by refreshing the bushings for both of these cars that they drive like brand new again. And I'm so happy that there were some parts that were available online, because sometimes with the parts of Ferrari, they sell the complete part and not just the individual parts, so you technically have to buy the whole system. So I'm glad though for these two cars there was some parts that were available and we were able to get them for the cars. After we drop off these two cars, we're gonna grab the 550 and listen to it, and hopefully everything works out. There's no sun today, so I don't think it's going to get super hot on us. So as you guys know, I really abuse this car. This is one of my daily driven 458s and I really love it. I think it's the best platform for me, plus the look of this car is insane. This is an original 458 GT3 kit along with the front fenders, a Darwin Pro Speciale hood, and then we got the Brada forged wheels. We have the custom side skirt, and then the rear fender also from a 458 GT3, rear wing as well from a 458 GT3, and running on air suspension, full rift exhaust, and then the nice rear diffuser. And this is absolutely one of my most favorite cars to drive and bring around and play with. It's also a spider, so the rooftop does go down, and I love this livery from Second Skin as well. Everything about this car screams car porn and my personality. And you know, it's so hard. I'm supposed to park this car in the farm already so that we can make space and use other cars, but it's still here with me. In the advent that I will park this car in the farm to use other cars, everyone's also been asking where is the 488 Pista Pilot. It's just sitting in the farm. The SVJ is still for sale. It's just sitting in the farm. And then the NSX is actually done. I'm supposed to be doing the break-in, but I have zero patience for break-in, so I asked the boys at Titan to break the car in for me. And then I have another project car coming end of this month, so we'll do a big reveal on the next project car that we're doing also for Carborn. Today, this afternoon also, we're gonna go check out the World Trade International Auto Show and show you guys the Mazda Miata. It's finally done, it's finally on display, and I'm so excited. We're going to be unveiling the Miata, and I've officially called it the RP00 for Race Prototype 00 or Republic of the Philippines 00, whichever you want to call it. But it is our first full carbon fiber body that was produced by my second shop now, and not anymore from my main shop. And this is the first of many. We're going to be doing the SLS AMG next, also in partially full carbon fiber, except for the original parts of the SLS. We won't be molding, but after that we're going to keep the ball rolling, and I'm going to be continuing to be making crazy carbon fiber projects, and I have a few special projects in mind for next year. As I was saying, it's always so hard to decide which cars are going to go, because I'm so attached to these cars, especially when we put so much time, effort, and thought to putting these cars together. And a few of the cars I didn't want to sell but are on the chopping block are, you know, like the M4s and some of my old school muscle cars. But it's just that I have more ideas for grander projects, and I want to start from a clean slate, because there's certain things that I feel like I've learned from, and I want to redo the vision in a .2 or a .3 rendition of my thought and ideas. And this happens a lot to me, where I'm never satisfied with how I'm building cars. Sometimes after we finish a project, we're like, oh, that was wrong, we gotta do this. And a clear example of this is actually my RWB. If you guys have been following me for the longest time, RWB Victoria, which is our #1 RWB here in the Philippines, has gone through a multitude decade of transformations, different engines, different transmissions, different body designs. And now we're on the time attack version of the body design for Victoria, and I can't wait to get that to the track as well. And again, as you can see, most of my ideas and visions have been moving towards more race prep. But the problem is I need to possibly form my own race team. I've been on the fence, not wanting to do any mechanical work anymore in my city shop here, but I've been contemplating the idea of adding one mechanic to my team. And one mechanic who's really good overall, obviously working on both Porsche and Ferrari. And I don't know if this makes sense because I don't really like doing mechanical work. The problem that I have with doing mechanical work is the car sits down so long, especially these cars that we like to drive and own. We need parts for them, and sometimes the parts just aren't on stock locally, and it's such a nightmare when it comes to fixing them, because you have to order the part. Sometimes the part arrives, it's wrong. Yesterday when we installed the replacement water pump for the 550, the water jacket was leaking, so the water pump was essentially useless. That's why I ended up installing it and removing it almost 3 times. It was such a pain. But this is why we don't do mechanical, and even on my own personal builds, mechanical work is such a nightmare. That's why I ended up sending the cars to Titan, to 2233, to Elite Project. For me, it's just much easier to get the projects out so that I can continuously get to work on the aesthetic and handling characteristics of every car. But enough of me talking, let's go to Elite Project. It will be there in a few seconds. Okay, so they said they test drive the 458 Speciale already, and it is finished. And here's both cars. I actually have never seen them side by side together, but half of me wants to convert the exhaust on this to like that. So by putting it out to make it different sounding, but I don't know if that's going to change the dynamics. So obsessed. These are the best sounding cars in my life, along with the F430. And now the 550 sounds so good also. The A12 sounded amazing, but you know, being that it's so expensive, harder to play with. This is the collector piece though. Just checking my threads. Looks like the tires are still okay. Look at this super beautiful colored SV. Wow, okay. Wow, I love this Smurf Blue SV. One of the cars I'm actually considering selling is my Pista Piloti. The Pista Piloti was very special because it was the car that was awarded to me from Ferrari, and I just noticed that there's something clicking on the right suspension, so they're gonna go quick checkup, which gives me a chance to discuss my love for the 488. I've had quite a few 488s in my lifetime, and literally like went from black 488, which I shared with my brother, and then I had a maroon 488, and then I think for a while I had a white 488, and then I had the 488 Pista Piloti, which was the updated version of the 488. I absolutely love driving it also, but in terms of sound for sound, these cars sound the best, which is why they're in my fleet. And half of me is thinking, maybe I should offload the 488 Pista Piloti. What do you guys think? This is a regular Pista. What makes the Piloti special is that it is made for the race drivers. It's an absolutely one-of-one. In terms of originality in the Philippines, there is a second Pista Piloti that was brought in, but not through a racing driver or through the dealer, so it was a gray market car. I might regret it in the future though, because it was a special car, which meant a lot because I joined the Ferrari race team. But it is not a limited production car in any means, but there's only a certain number of units that were produced because they were only made for the race drivers who race with Ferrari for the Challenge series. The line looks so sexy for this car. And surprisingly, the values have held up. It's just that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get what I bought for the car, because obviously we've used it, and if you guys have seen my previous videos, I have crashed it on track. All cosmetic though, nothing to do with the frame. I ended up buying all the factory Ferrari parts to replace it. That's why I have the nose sitting on the top of my garage, if you guys have seen that video. Boys, checking out the clicking sound. I felt it immediately. Apparently the rubber for the tie rod boot is already very stiff, so when it stretches it sort of pulls on the clip because it doesn't have the flexibility anymore. I didn't order the rubber boot. I should have as part of ordering a tie rod kit, which means that's going to need rubber boots also later on. But we're going to get back on our way and then swap some cars and do some videos. Let's go. Okay, almost at the car shop. Grab the 550. I don't think we can do rollers today because the weather is shitty also, and I need to get back to the house so I can get ready for the event this afternoon. I want to memorize my short speech so that it has some impact, and then we'll do the test drive next week when I get back from the trip that we have this weekend. Okay, here we are. Maiden voyage. Hello, kitty cat. Weird, that window just dropped out. Not good for the rain. Okay, let's do a cold start. We got a rear view mirror. It's just a stick-on rear view mirror. Aircon works on this car. We still have some fuel, so I will get some fuel now. I have the adjusters from the suspension. I'm gonna check our air suspension. Wow. That looks like a good running height. So we'll try this out. And then we'll go on to number one. The whole cabin is still resonating. Sounds so much better. Wow, it rides amazing also. It's my first time to bring the car out. I do want to drive it more, but I'm pressed for time. This has to be the shortest test drive that we're going to do for this car. I want to get the temperatures to go up more. Aircon off. Truly sounds like an F1 now. Yeah. Wow. I love it. Although the rear is still kind of drony, I might need to add another exhaust because I don't want to piss off my neighbors. Seems like the coolant is still creeping up even if it's rainy outside. I wonder till what temperature we can get it up to. The next best thing is to really do a dyno tune. Maybe if the car is running really lean because we don't have the cats, maybe that's why it's also overheating. So another thing we can look at. But at least the car is driving. I won't know until we abuse the car to see if the temps go way beyond. The other thing I could do also is get brushless fans. Brushless fans move more air, and in that sense we can get more airflow to the radiators. Unlike before, I see the temps going down. Mission accomplished, back in the condo. I'm going to take a quick break, do lunch, fix my hair, and fix up for the event this afternoon. Okay guys, we're off to the venue. I'm here with Carlo, who's going to be photographing me today at the Mazda event, and I've prepared a short speech.
Introducing Mazda team driver, Angie Mead.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the Mazda booth. I am so ecstatic to represent and show you guys our love child between Mazda Philippines, myself and Steven Tan. I present to you our endurance car, the rebirth of the number 55 in its full carbon fiber body. What I absolutely love about this team is the relentless passion to excel, to improve oneself, and to be better every single race. And I want to give you guys an example. When we first started racing, we were only doing 2 minutes 20 in Kart Speedway. But with Tyson C, he was able to post a jaw-dropping 2 minutes 10, a 10-second shade from when we started in the beginning to where we are now, but not yet with this car. We went the extra mile and went with a full carbon fiber body. We redesigned everything, and I want to thank Steven Tan at the Mazda team for allowing me to exercise all my craziness. Anything I thought on, you're like, do it, just do it. We want to win. When we were first racing, we would always say like, to be second and to be first is the same effort. So what's holding us back? And I'm so happy that we were able to do this now. I just want to give also background. Back in 2020, I actually quit racing already from a really bad accident, and it was my friend and partner Willie Imperial who actually got me back into motorsports. And they called me saying like, why did you try out the Endurance Cup with the Mazda Miata? And I was like, okay, one race. One race turned into a partnership, and we've been racing since 2022 and still racing and competing. Every single race of the Endurance Series I try to drive. It's my most favorite race to drive because my team is amazing. My team is right here. And then obviously in partnership with Mazda, we get to do some really fun stuff. And I hope other people can join the endurance race because it's one big happy family. We are a very competitive team. What we lack in horsepower, we can now make up with the ultra lightweight chassis that we've been developing. And I tell you that this is by far the most nimble race car that you'll ever see on the racetrack. We can dive bomb almost every competitor, and we don't have the power to pull away just yet. We're working on that. But the improvements that I did are both aesthetic and functional in a sense. First off, we have the full carbon fiber body kit, and then we did a V-mount radiator along with an S-nut to vent all the SSC. We also have been developing a 6-speed sequential gearbox that we're going to test on the next race. And then obviously lastly is continue to work on the aero design for the car. The best part is the carbon fiber body is made in the Philippines, and it was finished in satin clear coat by my car shop Classic Speedway. Now I know you guys are all probably wondering, I am too, what is the weight of a car? Honestly, we haven't weighed it yet. It was so last minute. We got into the show, we hung it up, and then we had to get the car back, put the body panels on, and then bring it back here. So we haven't weighed the car, we haven't tested it. That's why after the show, I'm so excited to getting the car back so we can continue to develop it. None of this would be possible without my teammates. My teammates who had an instrumental, and they're the secret sauce to this cool program. Also, Pasta Philippines and Steve Attack, I want to call you guys up here to celebrate with us.
Okay, just got out of the venue. I veered off the speech just a little, but we kind of nailed it. So I'm happy, Steven is happy, the whole team is happy, and I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. See you soon. Peace.